It's time for a little bit of intellectual anarchy, where we engage in extreme truth, extreme common sense, and diversity of ideas. Hi, I'm your host, James Salazar. So the subject of reparations has come up because of San Francisco, a committee, I don't know what, decided to propose a bill that would pay black people in their city, I'm not sure in their county, but in their city, $5 million each. That's $10 million for a couple, and $100,000 a year thereafter for 250 years. Yes, you heard me right. So let's look this was in the eyes of reality. They are stupid enough to propose to put it through. But what would happen is they would be flooded with black people coming into San Francisco to live. And who wouldn't? Right? Who wouldn't? And all the white, Hispanic, Asian, and every other race would just move out. So you'll probably be able to pay out the $5 million to probably about 15% of the black people. And then you're going to say, sorry, it's all emptied. The racist people left. Most likely what will happen. And then they pretty much destroy their own city. There's one point I want to make out of this, just for the obvious of stupidity, that mentality that would put such a law that would destroy and bankrupt your city is the same people who are running the government right now. They don't believe money's real. They believe they can just print it. If the taxes can't pay for it, we'll just print it, and then it will lower the value, which there's never been inflation without the overprinting of money. It's what causes it. And we are and this is the same reason why we're having troubles with our banking system, because the people who are running the economy are these type of thinkers. They think like children. Let's just do this. It is right. It is good. It makes me feel good for offering it, which will in turn screw minorities and everybody else. These are the same people who are running the government, and we're looking at a stagflation. We're looking to be for our inflation to double, and we're looking for a recession, and banks to close, and people to lose their savings. People are not going to open business in this environment. People are not going to loan businesses money in this environment if the interest rates keep on going up. But they have to go up because of inflation, because they're printing too much. It is a bad situation. That's the first thing. That stupidity is running in our government with the Joe Biden administration. Complete morons that don't believe money is real. But let me tell you, the pain's going to be real. And the results are going to be real of such people running our economy. And guess what? This was what happened when you centralize economies. You get stupid ideas like that. And instead of letting the free market run itself, you got people who think the markets should be controlled and regulated, and now we're getting what you got. Just like the 2008 crash, and this coming crash, if there's no about face, it would be caused not by capitalism, it will be caused by crony capitalism and running the economy centrally from government. Government's the problem. Overregulation is a problem. Makes things difficult and makes things hard to be prosperous. It makes it hard for individuals to be prosperous. let alone the Democratic Party. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. We know what happens when you give people money that are poor. Unless they were given a financial education, ability to come out of with the ability to read and write and do math at the level they should coming out of education, well, they're not. They're not taught that, and they're coming out with very low reading standards, very low writing standards, very low math standards, run by the Democratic Party school system. And they think it's A-okay that black people can get out of school and not know how to balance a checkbook, not know how to build credit, not how to know to save money and invest money. They're not taught that. Capitalism is the most moral economical system there is, and it has flaws, of course, but nothing gets people out of poverty than capitalism. Nothing has got people out of poverty faster than capitalism, more efficiently than capitalism. I need you to hear that. Because those school systems are rigging you against the most easiest system to thrive in, and then rigging you against it, then telling you that that system is rigged against you. Heinous. It's only black people who take personal responsibility for their lives end up thriving, open their own businesses, stop relying upon the Democratic Party to save them. The most racist organization in history. You understand that? Is there institutional racism? Yes, that institution is the Democratic Party. They are the founders of the Jim Crow laws. All laws that you call racist that are on the book were put on the books by Democrats. They were original slaveholders. And when you took away their ability to enslave black people, they found another way to enslave black people. They enslaved them to the government, keeping them the worker class, not teaching them a financial education. You know, the civil rights movement was needed to make people act civil towards black people. But let's not get it twisted. Black people did better before the civil rights movement financially, because there were black-owned banks, black-owned restaurants, black-owned tailors, black-owned pharmacies, black-owned police force, black-owned fire department, black-owned homes, black-owned cars, black-owned communities. Because they knew there was no handouts coming from the government for black people. So they thrived because they had to take responsibility. And all those poor white people who were taking handouts from the government ended up getting resentful because these black people were prosperous because they weren't dependent on government, and then go into their cities and destroy them out of jealousy and racism until black people joined the handout. Let me just put it simply for you. Democrats wants to give you a fish every day. And if you depend upon that fish every single day, you're always going to vote for them. And that's it. They want you, they want to be the fish market. Where the Republican Party are not going to hand things out, but they're going to teach you how to fish so you can fish for yourself every single day. And that's pretty much the difference. So, do I believe there should be no reparations for black people? Absolutely not. There should be. It's not monetarily. You know, all lives matter, but black lives definitely need more attention. See, we got to acknowledge that Hispanics, we came with our culture in our hand, and Asians and white people, they got a lot of history that they come with us in, what comes with them. But black people, they were stolen from their land, not allowed to practice their culture, enslaved, then freed after 100 years later, and then told, figure it out, make your own culture. Well, that's not easy. There's a lot of pitfalls, and the Democratic Party came in, swooped them up, and kept them poor, based on them giving them free shit. But they care for you. They'll care for you as long as you don't become an economical power. This is why they want you to kill your babies, because a white person's keeping their baby, but they'll encourage you because you're so poor and you live in desolate situations and gang violence that you should get rid of your baby. You should abort it. 7% of the population. There were more black people here than Hispanic people at the end of the Civil War. You trying to tell me black people don't like having sex and having kids? No. It's a direct result of abortion, black people killing each other in Democratic-run states and cities. White liberals love social engineering off the backs of black people. What do I think? I think because they were stolen from their culture, they need more attention. So I would have them, number one, for a business loan, lessen the amount. Like right now you need like 25% saved up, and the small business loan will fund the rest. Well, that should be lowered for black people. I believe it should be like 10%. They should be able to, if they need $100,000 to do a business, they need to save up $10,000 to do work, but they still need to save something up. As long as they have the grades, they should be allowed to go to school. And then it shouldn't, if we're going to make schools in colleges accept that black people are going to come in, it shouldn't be at the expense of other people. Let's just build more schools. Trade schools, definitely have black people have grants towards schools and trade schools, and if they lose it, they got to take a loan out. And no one should ever be forgiven of a loan. Come on. If you want to go to school, take that responsibility. You know, people only pay attention when they pay. Maybe FHA's 3% down should be extended to like five more times for black people to create that generational wealth that was kept from them. Generational wealth is built on good decisions. That's the key. You can give black people all these opportunities, but if they don't want to be personally responsible, there shouldn't be a stopgap against that. But I do believe there should be some things to them, because they're still trying to build their culture. And the Democratic Party set them back about 50 years. As soon as they got involved in them, it set them back. And still sending them back today. Only today are people realizing that the Democratic Party does nothing for you because they can't. They can't teach you how to prosper. They don't know how to do that. They can give you free stuff, but they don't have within them or in their ideology or in their way of thinking to teach you how to be prosperous. You don't. So you're never going to be prosperous if you depend upon them. It's not how it's structured. It's not how it's structured. And because after 50 years, nothing's happened, they're offering ridiculous things like $5 million because all their other plans never worked. But if you take personal responsibility, you save the money, you get a financial education, you will thrive in this country, no matter who you are. So I don't think black people should get nothing. They should have something similar to the GI Bill. Because we have to acknowledge that the Democratic Party set them back. It has. There's no other way to look at it. The Democratic Party has set black people back, kept them the worker class. And before you tear down any statue, you got to tear down that organization. And if you don't want to keep that organization, then that organization, who has direct ties to slavery, should pay the reparations, not the American people, that group. That might come out to like $20 per black person, but still, it should be done away with. Get rid of a new group of people, a new system instead of the Democratic Party. It's the problem is that the Democratic Party the name is so aligned. It's so aligned with what they do. They're about democracy. They're not about laws. They think if you can get a lot of people to vote one way, you can have people vote away their rights. So democracy, this is why you always see Republicans say, we're a nation of laws, and a Democrat saying, we're a democracy. But we have limits to our democracy. So I'm rambling on now, but most of all, the people who suggested that you give $5 million to every black person and actually think that was going to work out in real life, and it will, are the same people running our economy now in our federal government. You should be afraid. You should be very afraid. Hey, if you want me to come speak at any of your events, religious organizations, if you need some life coaching, or you want to see some things that I'm affiliated with, or follow me on any social media platform, go to jamessalazarmedia.com/sling. That is right here. Or you can just take a picture of this QR code. Whoa. QR code. And it'll link you to everything I have. So I'm going to leave you with that today. Goodbye.